So last night I ended up finishing overhauling the headset, putting it together, and I probably should have recorded it. Even though I'm not really recording doing much to this bike. Because it had little dust seals, and like I've said before in headset videos, sometimes you gotta watch out for those, and the bottom one was trying to catch, and so it was all grindy, and eventually I found it and tucked it back in, so you could barely see it. It got it real smooth and nice, and it feels great. I don't think it being slightly dead is gonna bug me at all. And it had a weird, like, funky old homemade headset spacer I got rid of, and I did a weird bike mechanic-y thing where I put 3 little tiny modern like wheels manufacturing ones in. You know, I think they stopped making 1-inch, so I bought up like the last case they had and the last case the QVP had, and a bunch someone had on eBay. They were trying to corner the market on 1-inch, especially silver headset spacers. But a little black, silver, black action. Sort of go with the theme of doing some black bits on it, because you know the DX trailer has some black, and the bash guard's black, and you know, whatever. Found a old 100mm custom SR stem, like who cares? Found these bars I paid $12 whole for at Community Cycling Center that are no name brand, no logo, and you know, 58s, probably wide enough. 25.4. So should be totally cool. If I had a longer stem, I'd probably use it. But the 100's probably fine. You know, these bars sweep back so far. Tight. So that's a good start. I'm gonna overhaul these hubs and get them on. The chain that came with this 1200 bike that had the wheels and the cassette was like brand new, so I'm gonna reuse that chain. Really rethinking those 28s some more, because basically I can build this bike for free out of parts sitting around if I use those 28s and don't go buy new tires. So we'll see. I did order some 32s for a different project through a friend's shop. I have no idea if he actually ordered them yet, if they're in, or if they're coming in. So if they're in, maybe I'll use them and order another set for that track. But then something real cool happened. So this morning, first thing, I mean, people probably ask themselves a little bit, how do I keep getting all these deals? Because I'm a sociopath and I check Facebook Marketplace and all the garage sale groups and Craigslist 10 times a day. So this morning, first thing that popped up was a bike for $25. I was like, I'm so sick of buying these cheap bikes. They're mostly junk, blah, blah, blah. And then I was looking at it and I'm like, it's got real single speed wheels on it. It's probably 27s, probably cheap tires. The wheels are probably dead. But you know, it's got enough stuff, $25, I'm gonna go take a look at it. So I went over and checked it out this morning, and it's awesome. Bamaram! So, it's got really cool old Nervex lugs. I think these might have been the same lugs I've used on a few custom frames. Had new old stock Nervex lugs and cut up. It's a Dawes. I don't know if it's anything fancy or special or good tubes. It's probably not. It's probably a cheap 70s bike. Has stamped dropouts. But I got there, I bring a bunch of tools, I'm going to go take a look at this, see if these wheels are good, blah, blah. And it's so nice I didn't even touch it. I was just like, yep, I'll take it. So it's got real silver, just like cheapo wheels like QVP was selling for a while, I think. Just like silver, generic, probably like Originate, single speed hubs to the polished M13-2 rims, which are really low end, but come polished and are silver and nice, and I've used on a zillion bikes and loved. It's got like an almost brand new set of pt2, like Portland Design Works fenders on it. These fenders look $120. It's got brand new Palin Racer Paselas, an 1.25 inches in the rear and an inch in the front. That's goofy. Maybe I can find one and make them matching at the swap meet. It's got some, you know, Originate cranks, which are like $20 cranks, but go for $80 used for some reason. Some goofy black pedals that are kind of cool. The guy was saying he thinks the frame's wonky and bad, not to be used anymore, so I don't know if that means it's cracked or it's another issue, but he said his dad bought a brand new in the 70s for their family the whole time. So I got it for $25 because one, it's ugly and the photo was terrible. And 2 of these kids were moving to Brooklyn. They're hipster, like tall, skinny hipster kids, bike nerds. And they were literally loading their car, their last load of stuff. And he thought he was going to break this bike down and just take the parts, then realized it wasn't worth dealing with because it's 27-inch wheels. And and the car was totally full. So he popped it up for $25 on Marketplace to make it disappear right away. And I'm like, okay, I'll be there in an hour because I had to walk my dog. And I got there, yeah, they're loading the last box in the car. This is the last thing in the house. I didn't have anything to do with it. So I really lucked out. It's the same way I lucked out on that weird mongoose. People are moving. The same way I got that, like in December, I got that Trek city bike conversion for $80. Guy was moving back to New York. So I'm going to pull this thing apart and take a look at it. Make sure these wheels are round and true and overhaul the hubs and do all the stuff. But I think all or most of this is going to go on that Bridgestone 400. Unless, of course, I find some black single speed wheels at the swap meet. So that'd be cool. I'd use these black cranks, this black stem, and maybe even this like time trial bar and these levers, and because why not, man? All this junk would be real sick on that Bridgestone as a single speed. Yeah, nice fenders. I wasn't going to put fenders on the Schwinn, but these PW ones are kind of a gray black that kind of goes with the theme. Maybe I will. At least I have the option now. I'm trying to pull the stem wedge out and the bolt just comes up. Something we've talked about before, but you can never say it too much. So that wedge is stuck. We'll try giving a little tap with a dead shot mallet. Hey! That was enough to free it up. That's plenty greasy, so that's good. If that one tap with dead shot mallet wasn't enough, I'll really start pouring in oil around the seal and pouring in oil down here and trying to get everywhere, then we can really put a block of wood or something on the top and whack the shit out of the hammer. And I can see someone has whacked on this with a hammer. So maybe they couldn't get it unstuck and magically that is dead. Or maybe they got it unstuck and then greased the crap out of it before putting it back in. I also want to show you the rear brake when to pull it off. Look at this hack. If it won't reach the pad, just cut all the extra pad off and rub the tires. You just have a half a pad to reach that 700C. This had 27, so it actually reached fine. So must have been a hack on a different bike or the different wheel set. Good times. So that is it for the DAWs. I got it all stripped down. The frame definitely had some bad tire rub in the back, and the front of the fork you can see the spiderweb cracks look a little bit. So yeah, that frame was definitely toast. So it's gone, but a lot of these parts are great. I pulled the cranks off. The tapers look good. The bottom bracket's good. They're 170s, which I think will be plenty long for the old Bridgestone. I think let me use these pedals. I'll see rid of these rattling, broken reflectors. Let's get rid of all the janky things on this bike, clean everything up, put it on the other bike, and maybe it'll be awesome. So I still need some brakes for the other bike. I gotta decide if I want to go cruiser bars single speed or Pursuity bars and single speed. These wheels are so silver and classic, and that Bridgestone is so silver, I might go all silver parts. Silver wheels, the gum walls. Maybe I'll use some silver roll road cranks and do another like 1x bash guard, like from earlier in this video for the other bike. And cruiser bars or riser bars or something instead of this stuff. It's hard to decide. I'm just going to finish stripping this stuff down and overhaul all these wheels and make sure everything's cool, and then the next video we'll start building stuff up again. Maybe do a whole other bash guard. Maybe instead of just doing some photos of it, I'll do a whole video on it. It's pretty cool, even though I did it the longest, hardest way. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.